All right. All right. I believe we are live. Hello and welcome everyone to another edition of Tone Vays Interviews. Bringing you once again an awesome interview with Grant of Ocean Builders. We're going to get into the whole story, but right off the bat, you see where I am. Uh, I am literally in the middle of the ocean right now. Right there over my shoulder, you see another one of these ocean pods being built. We're going to talk about that one. The one I'm sitting on is a little bit different. I'll show you pictures of it. I can't show it to you because I'm inside the pod. It was better to do it from inside than the shore was just a little too far away. And we're going to get into the whole process and how everything works. Let me just glance at your live chat real quick. Make sure the audio is good and the video is good. Grant, say something.
Hello, testing, testing.
There's Grant. I'm finishing up a cup of coffee and then I'm going to enjoy this glass of wine. Grant, thank you so much. Grant's staying sober. And yeah, Grant is super into longevity and health, and we can do a whole other podcast with him on longevity and health. Are we on a boat? No, we are not on a boat. Um, Oh, people are getting ads. Sorry, guys. I wish I can prevent the ads from happening, but YouTube just screws me in every way possible. Um, don't say there's another link or video, please. Am I live? Is this live? Can you get confirmation that this live chat is the link? It should be working. I hope. Um, yeah. Let me get.
Be.
Yeah,
Looks
it
like
should be.
Yeah.
All good. Okay, good. All good. All right. Grant, without any further ado, I'm gonna kick off screen share. We're gonna go back to looking at the pod behind me in a minute. Let me go to screen share so people can see your company's website and uh, just describe yourself, how you got into it, how is Bitcoin involved in all of this, and what are you guys building here in Panama and hopefully around the world? And
Okay.
the floor is yours.
That's a lot of questions. Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I always loved being around the water and spend as much time in it as I can, and always very excited about it. And then I found a floating home in 2016 in Canada, and it was looked like a normal house, but it was floating. And I just fell in love with it. I thought it was the coolest thing. And then I lived there for 3.5 years. And then I found out about my now business partner who started this, had this whole new revolutionary way of making a house so it floats not just on the water level, which is how all other floating homes work, but this house is actually floating 3 meters over the water, like in the picture. You might be able to see it here. And what's interesting about that is
Yep,
now you have an elevated view.
we are sitting right here, by the way. This is where we are
Yeah.
on this deck right here, guys. All right, sorry, go on.
Yeah. So we have this elevated view. The views here are stunning. It's really hard for me to leave here because sometimes I go visit friends and family and go leave the pod, and it's hard because I'm used to seeing lush green rolling hills in the background and then the tropical blue ocean around me. So it's quite an amazing place to be. So I met my business partner who came up with this whole new technology of having the house elevated over the water, which also helps because now once the house is out of the waves, so there's lot less interaction with the waves, so there's a lot less movement. Like we're on the water and it's like you're feeling less, about 5 times less movement than a normal boat. So that's fantastic. Um, and we're designing the system so that they can run. Um, we have our own solar, so it runs off grid for power. We have water, so the roof is actually a big rain collection device.
Well, we're going to get into all the details of
Okay.
how the pod, how it is, what it's like to live here, how it operates. A little more about yourself.
Okay. All right. Been an entrepreneur since I was like 6, doing everything from shoveling neighbors' snow in the winters to raking leaves. And I had wrote my first computer software program in like 1980, and was in like was the first entrant in a Canadian science fair project for like competing in Canada for writing software. And no one had seen home computers. That was like early days. So I was always interested in technology and usually ahead of the technology of the curve. So I always tried to stay ahead of what's happening. And in 1996, I was featured in some Canadian magazines for having like the most advanced paperless office, mobile office in Canada.
Wow.
We had I had al- almost completely paperless, just my business and corporation documents. I had them printed out, but everything else was totally paperless. I had the first um, uh, telephone line that was on the internet, like an internet, IP phone number. That was the first people had heard of it when I was doing the camp.
Talking like mid-90s here.
Yeah, 1996.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So I've always been interested in technology and the water, and it feels like my whole life has kind of been moving in this direction because I'm getting to apply really cool technology, be ahead of the like integrating all these technologies into a house that's floating. And I love being on the water, so it was just the
Yeah, and
perfect
this
thing.
really is a house. We're pretty high up. We're what, about 6 meters above ground?
Yeah,
More?
at this level, your feet are 5 meters over the water.
5 meters over the water. And you guys can see us rocking as we're speaking. And let's quickly show them the house. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn on AI. The camera's just gonna follow me so we could get up
Okay.
and we can just start. Oh, let me zoom out the camera actually. Let me zoom the camera out all the way so you guys can see. And now, if we start slowly walking through the house,
Huh?
we can. The bedroom is around the wall there. So if you guys can see, it's super cool. He's got a wine fridge right there, coffee machine. These are stairs to go to the rooftop. At the end of the video, I may take this laptop and the camera and we'll go up to the roof. And if we keep walking, there was a pillar in the way. Oh, here it is. Say hi, Pats. And here is the kitchen. You guys see the refrigerator. He's got an awesome workstation, two giant monitors, and you get enough solar here to power everything. And you also have a generator that's solar powered as well as a backup in case it's stormy and rainy like it is right now today, unfortunately, for like 3 or 4 days, then you won't get enough solar, right?
Yeah, usually by 11:30 in the morning, all the batteries are fully charged. And then we're just burning power because we don't have anything to use it for. So we should actually maybe start Bitcoin mining
Oh yeah.
during the day.
Yeah, you got a cool little device over there. I thought it was a Bitcoin miner. But yeah, you can definitely set up a couple of miners if you have a lot of solar panels. The new versions of this pod
Mhm.
will have solar panels all through the roof as well, right?
Yeah.
But then I was just looking at your Instagram. How are you going to work out on top of the solar panels doing your push-ups?
Well, it goes around the periphery.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So you still have like you can still do dinners up there, put a table up
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. There's the center is the entertainment area, and that's fantastic for meditation, doing yoga, um, do some exercise classes. And we're going to the next version will put a fence around it so we can actually have people up there officially. Right now, we're just using it internally. So, we should have a security fence so when families come over and because you don't want to jump over the edge by accident or have kids run off the edge and jump in the water.
Right, so I just wanted to show you guys this angle here. This is the opposite side. So you can see such a cool view. Got a bunch of yachts, a bunch of ships. Is the camera following me?
Yeah.
Can people
Yep,
see?
it's good. Yeah.
Cool. Maybe I could turn it a little bit this way and there. Now it'll be a lot easier. All right, cool. All right, and now we can come back and have a seat. Because if you move too fast, then it loses your tracking here.
That's really cool.
Yeah. All right. All right, let's have a seat and finish our conversation. There's the pod in the background. I'm gonna zoom in the camera a bit, like that. I'm gonna stop the
I think we have a little
tracking.
bit of rain.
Yeah, a little rain coming in, but that's okay. We're under a canopy here. The computer will be fine. All right, and let me slide the camera over a smidge this way, and we're good.
Oh, you're going to play the
Oh yeah,
You know,
Uh,
that video, that was the video I've been dreaming to make since before we started building our first unit, because that really shows you the whole vision. It shows you the whole idea of what the lifestyle would be for living on a seapod.
all right, so I have not actually seen this video yet. It's new. It came out recently, right?
Yeah,
5 months ago.
February, yeah.
I have not seen the video, which is great because we're all gonna watch it together. What I need to do is I need to turn on sound, share computer sound. Okay, so let's give this a shot. And let's watch this 2-minute video. I'm gonna, oh, no, I'm not even gonna speed it up. Let's watch it and then feel free to drop questions in the chat and then we're gonna talk. Someone as jealous as a Canadian.
Huh.
All right,
I'm
let's
a
play the
Canadian.
video. Oh, this is the pod we're sitting on, literally.
Yeah, that's it.
Someone got paid to like stay in here and enjoy life.
Yeah, we had a really, she was fantastic. I didn't get paid for that.
Yeah, that's the bedroom on the other side. Maybe that's you.
Yeah.
Yeah, the water here is beautiful. Snorkeling, diving.
Gonna jump in the water once again.
All right, wow, that was super cool.
Thank you.
All right, and now one more thing on screen share, and then we're just gonna chat, and I'll keep an eye on your questions. And I first heard about seasteading when we covered the story. I don't know how many of you were watching the old show with Thomas Hunt on the World Crypto Network, the Bitcoin group, back in 2016, 17? When was this
That
article
was
published?
2018 or 2019.
Was it 19?
Yeah.
Maybe it was on my channel already. Maybe it was with Jimmy Song and Giacomo Zucco on my channel. When there was this incident, US Bitcoin trader may face death penalty in Thailand over a sea hole. Now, that's not Grant, that's Chad. And I know Chad, unfortunately, he's not in town. Chad is he a co-founder? Is he
Yeah,
just an
he's one of the
advisor? He's one of
co-founders.
the co-founders. Okay. He's one of the co-founders of this Ocean Builders. And the SeaPod we're in now was inspired by this, I guess, weather station that Chad was living on for like 6 months or more until the Thai authorities weren't happy about it. And then he had to flee Thailand and he ended up here in Panama. Did you help get him to Panama or that
I
was somebody
did.
else?
We haven't really talked too much about that publicly, but yeah, there's a book being written about the whole
Mm.
story, so it's going to tell some details that people have never heard before. But there's we've done a lot of research and we found out there's actually a lot more going on behind the scenes than what was said.
Oh, at
So
the time.
yeah, yeah.
Okay. And anyway, Chad made it safe here to Panama, and you guys came up with this project
Hmm.
of building homes on top of the ocean. Now, this does float, it doesn't anchor into the ground. And technically, you can have this out in the middle of the ocean, but the waves can get a little bit higher than 3 to 4 meters, which could be a little scary. But if you're relatively close to shore, especially in waters of Panama, where there are no big waves ever around here,
Well, not
um,
big enough to
yeah,
be a problem.
but if you're relatively close to shore, within a speedboat away, these things are absolutely awesome. It's so fun being on one of these. And yeah, I'm gonna come off screen share and I'll keep an eye on your questions, guys. I have a lot of questions of my own. And yeah, and prior to this, by the way, the way Grant and I originally connected, you had another project of also living on the sea, because clearly that's your passion, where you guys were going to have a cruise ship parked off the coast of Panama, and people can buy condos in the
Yes.
cruise ship and have a co-working space there. I made plans to come here. I think it was the year of COVID to party on the cruise ship for New
Oh yeah,
Year's.
that was
And unfortunately, that didn't work out, but this worked out great.
yeah. Yeah, the cruise ship was a very interesting project. I never thought I'd have any ownership of a cruise ship when I was growing up. And the idea would be to have a whole community that would be have like-minded individuals that just love Bitcoin and crypto and wanted to be around other people that were passionate about the same thing. So we wanted to create a community around that. And we loved it because um, it was an instant community where you could have like 500 plus people or couples. Um, we actually had there's about 1,000 rooms on the ship, so it was not a small boat. It was actually it was the love boat. It was massive. It's not just a boat; it's the love boat. And unfortunately, we found out that there's so much regulation in the shipping industry.
Yeah.
Um, And if you try to do anything outside of the normal thing that already is established, it becomes very difficult to do. And you'd have to go through lots of paperwork, legal procedures. It would take years and years and years of just paperwork and meetings and probably lobbying and other things. So it was, and then finding a company to insure them was a mess as well. So unfortunately, we gave that up, but it was a great dream. But maybe we'll get back to it at some point because it's nice to have the whole community that's already there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or just have a bunch of these just all throughout the bay here.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk some more about the pod.
Hmm.
Uh, Operationally speaking,
Hmm.
obviously you have Starlink here. We're streaming this show. Everything is so you're fully connected to the internet. You have solar.
Yeah.
You're collecting rainwater.
Uh-huh.
You can live completely self-sustained.
Hmm.
Obviously, you have a little boat. You can have a jet ski.
Hmm.
Uh, Collecting rainwater. What else would you need for survival?
Well, right now we're building a system to purify the rainwater so you can drink it, because right now we're just cleaning it enough so that we can use it for showers, for washing things. The next step is to make it so it's because I'm a health nut, so I want
Yeah.
this water to be like the most amazing water you've ever had. So there's a few steps to do that. So we have a new system being built that's going to put the water through about 5 different stages of filtering, and then we're going to add a few extra little things. We're going to add some hydrogen into the water as an option, but that's something I'm going to do. That has a lot of health benefits. And so then we're also developing a system to protect the steel because the floating base is made of steel. And as you know, when you put any steel in water, it's going to
Salt
rust.
water.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it rusts pretty fast. If we dived around the pod here, it's amazing. You can see the steel at water level. Some of the paint has come off, and it's pristine. It's absolutely pristine. There's no rust on the level right at the water because we're actually putting a little bit of electricity through the steel. And what that
Interesting.
does is it gives the steel the electrons that it's missing, so it doesn't have to bond with
Is
oxygen.
that something you knew ahead of time, or is that something you
Yeah, it's
guys
something ships
figured it
use.
out?
Yeah,
Something ships use.
yeah,
Okay.
something ships use. So we didn't invent it, but we have it dialed in so nicely on this pod that like the steel looks like brand new.
Do you guys have any patents related to what you're building here?
Not right now. We're going to start doing that. Event when we started, we were doing it more as an open source thing because we just wanted this technology to get out there. But it's very, very expensive doing this. So now we're like,
Yeah,
well,
we're gonna
we
talk
put a
about
lot of
that.
money into this. We should start locking it down.
Yeah, so far, you guys have built two livable pods. You've been
Mhm.
living in this one
Yeah.
for a year and a half. I visited and I stood inside this pod on its grand opening day in September of 2022. I was already starting to be based here in Panama. That was an awesome day. The end of that day was a little tricky. Oh, my camera just got an automated thing. It's okay, I'll fix that later. And we can talk about that as well. I'm sure some of you guys remember it because I talked about, I might have done a podcast about this back then as well. And now you have a second one that's built right around the corner from here. That one is more upgraded and better. And what does it take to build one of these? What kind of production it entails?
Mhm.
What kind of costs? Like, how would someone, if someone watching this right now and says, "Oh my God, I want one. I want to live in one," describe the process and what has to be done. How much would this experience cost? How can this be delivered somewhere? So, if someone is interested, take 10 minutes and provide a pitch.
All right. So I think we have an amazing new lifestyle that people have never seen before, and it gives you just like it's amazing waking up here. So I just want to give this same experience to other people. Since I've been living on the water for so many years, I just love it, and I want other people to experience the same thing. So this unit with all the bells and whistles and all the upgrades that are coming, it will be anywhere from 1.3 million up to we're talking about building like $4 or $5 million units that have like $1 million kitchens. Like just the kitchen would be $1 million, but that's depending on how fancy you want to get it. That addresses like the high end, um, and that includes you have all your solar, so you have all the power you ever need, and you have enough power if you don't have sun for about 3 days. You have all you need. Then if you still don't have sun, then you have their backup generator that kicks in, generates your power from there. Then we have like the bed is a whole experience. The bed has the 8 sleep technology on it. I don't know if you've heard of that.
I have not.
It's fantastic. It has a dual temperature control zone, so you have left and right side. So it will you program the exact temperature you want, and you can even program it by your sleep stage. So if
How do
you
you know what temperature you want? Like I've I travel for a living. I usually depend on whatever bed. Excuse me, I couldn't mute. I
what?
was too far away from the computer. Um, I'm dependent on whatever bed the Airbnb happens to have, so I am not in tune with the latest in bedding technology.
Okay,
But this sounds pretty cool.
this is pretty cool because it you can control the temperature exactly. I usually just you leave it on one temperature all night, but you can have it follow your sleep stage. So if you're an REM, it goes to one temperature. If you go to deep sleep or light sleep, it changes. And then it has a temperature alarm, so it wakes you up by temperature, which is really a very unique way of waking up. But it's also very natural because that's how we evolved.
That's how
It
you
gets
wake up.
warmer, you wake up.
Your temperature goes up in the morning, and that's
Mhm.
how you wake up. That I knew.
Yeah.
And your temperature drops down
Mhm.
as you go to sleep, which is why if you're a sauna person,
Yeah.
they recommend doing sauna at night when your body temperature starts to cool down afterwards anyway.
Mhm.
And doing sauna at night before bed is better than doing sauna in the morning.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So with this, it tracks your sleep as well. So you have, instead of wearing a ring or a watch that does your sleep tracking, this will do your
The
sleep
bed
tracking as well.
does.
The bed does, yeah.
Wow.
It's a pretty cool. I could show you the interface if you pull it up
So
with
that's
me.
built in with these pods.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is what happens when you have a serious like health conscious freak building one of these things. All that stuff is already included for the high luxury experience.
Yeah. Well, when I was living in my floating house in Toronto, I built it out with all this technology. And then after about 6 months, I didn't feel very well. So I thought, well, what's going on? And I figured there's like I had 80 to 100 wireless devices
Too many.
in a small, like a small house. And so we built this pod from scratch, where a lot of the electronics, we're not using off-the-shelf electronics because that usually has wireless radio waves going back and forth
Mm,
communicating. So here, most of the electronics have been totally run on wires, so we don't have a lot of EMF. This is a very low EMF house.
interesting. Wow, that's
So
really
I feel
cool.
much healthier. Um, and that was important to me. I actually had a lot of health problems years ago. So I'm not just healthy doing all these health things because like I was inspired to do it. I was like, I had no choice but to do it. So, so living out here is fantastic for your health. And yeah, so we have all the technology built in. We have rainwater purification so you can drink it. The next stage is we're doing water recycling. So once you've, say, had a shower, it actually recycles 80 to 90% of the water that you're using for your shower. So you can have a 10-minute shower instead of using 10 gallons per minute. You're using 10 gallons for the whole shower, for the whole 10-minute shower because it recycles most of the shower water. But it has a detector, so it detects if you're using like shampoo, you don't want to recycle that.
Right.
So it says, okay, there's so the parts per million of whatever has gone up. So now that water goes into a
Oh, that's
separate
really
system.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So we're
that
developing
sounds
that
really
right now.
cool.
That's based on something called a shower loop. So we're adopting our own version into our house. So a lot of tech. The new pod that we'll hopefully see tomorrow is that has a jet ski lift built into the bottom of the house, which is like,
And it's got something even cooler than that. Are there
yeah,
pictures of the new one or no? No, not yet.
um,
Not on the website yet.
I yeah, there are some, yeah,
So the new one, just like this, apparently there is another room in the basement under the water.
yeah, yeah. We should be able to go over tomorrow.
I'll do some videos and I'll post them to my social media.
Okay, we'll show some angles. We're not doing the big reveal until actually, I
Ah,
don't think there's too much done there. So I'll see when I get there
we'll
what
see.
we're willing to
I'm
show.
gonna get one more glass. Okay, you mind?
And so yeah, so that room is really interesting. So there's a spiral staircase that goes from the pod, which is 5 meters above the water, all the way down to the underwater room, which is 11 meters. The floor of the underwater room is 11 meters under the surface of the water. So it's quite a staircase to go up and down. So if you want to get exercise, you put a bottle of water on your shoulders and walk up and down a couple times, and you're pretty exhausted.
Wow.
So at 11 meters under the surface of the water, the water pressure at all times is 240 tons
Whoa.
at all times, like pushing on the underwater room.
Is that far down?
Yeah, it's that far down.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's
Wow. So it's kind of like those it's like those fancy hotel rooms,
mhm.
like in Maldives, they're now doing them. Like
Yeah.
these are insane. Oh, speaking
This
of,
is the deepest that I'm aware of.
this one is going
Yeah.
to be the deepest.
Yeah. I don't think there's any other ones that have anything that's 11 meters deep. And we're right now doing the research on how to do a Guinness Book World Record for longest time underwater. So right now the record is 100 days, and I think we can beat that easily.
Right. So before someone stays there for 180 days in a row,
Uh-huh.
yeah, I would love to spend one night in that room.
Yeah.
When it
Um,
opens, we'll do another podcast from the underwater.
I think he may be
Well,
starting soon though.
ooh, I'm in town. Or at least half
Maybe
a
do
day.
it.
Or
We
at
can
least
do
half a
it.
day.
Yeah.
half a day. No, I would love to do another podcast from that room before the attempt at the Guinness World Record begins.
Okay.
So I'll definitely be back and I'll do a podcast if they let me from the underwater room. That would be awesome
Okay.
on a clear day.
We could probably do that. All right.
Uh, yeah, no, that sounds absolutely great. And so, if someone wanted to come out here, do you rent these out for the night? I know you're living in this one.
Mhm.
The other one, I mean, probably another founder will probably be living in that one.
Yeah.
But when are you guys ready to like rent these things out? I mean, I'm sure people will pay $500 a night to stay in one of these just for the experience.
Yeah.
I know you guys aren't. The company's gonna have to start profiting soon, right?
Yeah, that would be nice to have some profit, but um, we we're at the point where we can take rentals, but then I have to go on land for the night. I have
Right.
to
I
leave.
don't want to.
I don't want to. I would pay you to not leave. I'll pay you $500 a night to not leave.
There's like a nice catamaran, like just parked right here. You can always like
Yeah,
crash in the catamaran.
yeah, yeah, but it's not the same thing.
Doug, if you're watching, I don't think you sold your catamaran yet, so we'll chat. One of my good friends, uh, that watches the stream is selling his catamaran. All
Uh,
right, let me look at your live chat right now, see if there's any questions that you have. I'm gonna scroll all the way up to the top. I'm gonna go through it. Grant, while I'm not paying attention because I'm looking at the live chat, I get yelled at by my own followers like, Tone, you're not looking at your guest. I'm like, no, because I'm looking at your chat for questions. Floor is yours. Anything else you haven't said yet while I look through the
oh yeah, another cool
questions?
thing of the new pod that we're making that's just launching soon is we're building a jet ski lift, which is the coolest thing. I mean, no one's ever thought of having a jet ski lift going to your house because no one's ever done a floating house before. So basically, we're going to have a lift that goes down into the water, and you drive in with your jet ski, and then there's a remote control that signals the lift to pull you up, and then it pulls you up all the way to the into the house. So it's like you have in-pod parking for your jet ski, which is I don't know. It's I just love that idea. That we actually had a test on the pod behind us. So we had a test lift there that we where we developed the system, and we had the electrician coming out last week to do the final wiring and electricity stuff to make sure we have all the switches and everything working. So I think I know we're talking about moving it on Saturday. So so I think Saturday is the day where we're going to be moving in, and that means we're not moving in until the lift is actually working. So my business partner will be there, and he's the one with the jet ski. So he wants to be able to go back and forth to land, and it's so fast. It's like a 3 minute trip from here to there by jet ski. But if I go with a paddleboard, I have an electric paddleboard, so it goes a lot faster than a regular paddleboard. But that's about 15 to 20 minutes. So it's a lot faster. Um, I like my paddleboard, but it would be really cool to have that jet ski built in.
All right, we got some questions.
Okay,
Some of them are interesting.
okay.
Um, you should have ballast tanks to raise and lower the house at will. I don't know what that means, but maybe you do.
Yes. So in the new pod, we do have three ballast tanks that are attached to the top of the underwater room, and we put them there. We haven't activated them yet, so they're just there when we need them. But the idea is that we want to be able to land a helicopter on the roof, so it becomes another means of getting on and off the pod. And the idea is also you can use it for helicopters, but also for passenger drones. So, but that's going to add the lightest helicopter is maybe 600 kilos. I think it's an R22. So you'd land that on there, but then that's going to make the pod sink by about 50 centimeters. So which is enough because we have that much space to sink. That's fine. But then if we use those, oh, that
What?
was that was a dolphin.
There was a dolphin?
Yeah, I heard the air like when they blow the air out of their.
Yeah, he's got a dolphin that comes through. You guys, if you watch my Instagram and my Telegram channel, when I'm up in the woods of Pennsylvania at my cabin, there's a deer that comes by every day. He's got the same thing, but with a dolphin.
Yeah. Yeah. So maybe it'll come up again.
Wow.
So yeah, so the ballast system will allow us to compensate for the helicopter landing, and so we're thinking about doing that. Yes.
All right, next question. Have you solved the insurance problem? Home insurance and hurricane insurance. Has any insurance company taken a look at this and said, this is crazy, or said we can work with this?
We have some insurance coverage, but not the full package yet. So we're still
Still
working.
working on that.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Insurance
Um,
companies they're scared of anything new and different.
what are your pirate prevention plans?
I actually just made a blog video on this the other day. It just uploaded yesterday, so it hasn't posted yet to the website. What's interesting here is we're in a bay that has hundreds of boats, and all the boats.
So I was gonna say it's funny because we're here like 2 hours. By the way, I'm sorry guys, I set this podcast for 5 p.m., but I keep forgetting that Panama is 1 hour behind
uh,
East Coast time, and my laptop is always on East Coast time. Half the year Panama is the same as America, and half the year it's 1 hour earlier. And this half the year it's 1 hour earlier. So that was my fault. It's streaming at 6 p.m. Eastern because it was 5 p.m. for us. But we were here for like an hour before the podcast started, and like there's like all these tours from all the boats, like people on like little boats going by. We just waved to them. Like Graham was saying, yeah, I'm like a living like a zoo animal, like just constantly waving to tourists.
yeah, usually like we're middle of the week. We don't usually have a lot of tourists then, but on weekends, a lot of tourists and holidays, definitely. So pirate prevention program. There's a lot of boats here in the marine in the bay. So if anyone's going to break into something, they're going to take the easiest route,
Which is a
which
boat.
is because all you need to do is pull your boat up. They're at the same level. You get out, you get on, easy. With us, we're like the bottom of the house is 3 meters over the water, and then to get to the
There's a
level.
door, and then you gotta walk up a circular staircase through the middle column.
Yeah,
So that door is locked. I mean, you lock that thing at night, right? You don't want someone walking in here thinking it's empty.
yeah, the door is locked. We have
It's
a
a
new
metal
door.
door.
Yeah, we have a new door coming in that's like a really high security door, so
Yeah,
you're not getting past that thing.
yeah.
So you have to come over.
You need like a blowtorch and like a jackhammer to get
Yeah.
through it.
Yeah, you have to come over the railing, and the doors or windows have to be open for you to get in. So it's not an easy target at all. Um, I don't know how people would get in.
Uh, People are asking if it's pet friendly. Yeah, it's dog friendly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like having a dog on a boat. It's and there was a question on, oh yeah. Uh, so obviously if the waves are huge,
Hmm.
it's a problem. What if the wind is big, but the waves aren't? Like how wind sensitive is it?
Back in January, we had the trade winds coming through, and they were up to 70 or 80 kilometers an hour, and then we had
Hmm.
gusts up to more than that. So there's some pretty big winds. And at that time, we also had up to 2.2 and 2.5 meter waves.
Whoa. And you
So
were living in this thing at the
yeah,
time.
there was a couple days where I got off because I couldn't sleep at night because
It
there was
was
a lot of
just too
wind.
shaky.
Yeah, because
Okay.
this unit is actually not designed to be in this open of an area because when the trade winds come through here, it's too much for what we're designed for. So, but we wanted to test it and see, okay, well, what's the limits? How
But
far
the
can we
new
push
unit
this?
is better handles this.
Yeah, the new unit is actually designed for being on the ocean, like being right in the ocean. This unit is designed for being more in a calm water condition. But it can easily do 2.5 meter waves, no problem. Even more than that, it's just not it's not fun to live in 2.5 meter waves. Like getting on and off is not fun when you have that kind of wave.
People are asking, where is it? Can I pull up a Google map and show the
Sure.
general vicinity? I
Yeah.
mean, how secretive are you here?
Yeah. No,
Is the question.
I'm
Okay, let me,
easy to find.
yeah. Yeah, so there's two ways to go about. People are like, "Hey, Tone, how do you travel everywhere? How do you always broadcast where you are? Aren't you scared?" And my answer is there's two ways of protecting yourself. One way is to, be very, very secretive and hidden and hire private security. And in my experience, when you hire private security, half the time it's the private security insiders that will get you into trouble. The other option is to publicly announce where you're going to be, and then a bunch of random people show up, and then no one's going to dare to do anything because you're surrounded by a bunch of people. So that's the other plan, right? You're in a marina surrounded by a lot of people. Everyone knows where we are. So we are here. If I open up my Google map,
And my house is hard to hide.
yeah. So we are in this area here. So here's Panama. Here is Panama City, where I live, down here in this vicinity. I'm not going to be that specific, but this is Panama City. And it's about a 2-hour drive up to the Atlantic coast. If I zoom out further, Panama City is on the Pacific coast. The Atlantic water is so much nicer than the Pacific water. If you're going diving, scuba diving, snorkeling, you want to do it on the Atlantic side, not the Pacific side. The water is just so much clearer. We are in this vicinity here. This is the marina.
Right there.
Yep. This is the marina where this was originally built, right next to the marina. This is where your production facility is as well.
Yeah.
At this marina. And if I go, I actually thought that when I looked at this map, I was zooming in and I was looking, I'm like, oh, this looks like the pod.
That was our test, actually.
That was the test pod. This is an older image. I guess if the Google satellite comes around again, currently we are somewhere right here. We are just around this bend. So that's where I am right now. And the second one is like out here somewhere.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, we're here. We're in this vicinity.
Yep. And then there's another one. The other one is 1.6 kilometers out.
Yeah, so it's like over here.
Well, quite
Maybe
like
out in the water here.
well, even further than that,
Oh,
actually.
really? Wow, because I can see it so clearly from here.
Yeah, it's probably right about there. It's
So,
the northernmost house of all of Panama.
oh, wow. Oh, cool. Northernmost house in all of Panama. It makes sense because this thing wraps around like that. Yeah, so if you're curious where this is, just Google Linton Bay Marina, and it's around the corner from this little Isla Linton Island. All right, so that's where we are. We can get off screen share here. And by the way, guys, go to the if you're just tuning in now, go to the beginning of the video. We walked around the SeaPod. I'm gonna go back to the website. We are inside one of these right now. This guy right here is over my shoulder, being built and put together for the prototype. We are in this one. We're gonna walk up to the roof at the very end of the stream, and this is the kitchen. We are sitting right on this balcony right here. And we are sitting right on this balcony as we're doing this podcast. So you can go through the website as well. All the links are in the video description. Oh, wait, I'm not on screen share anymore. Damn it. I got off screen share. Shoot, my bad. Oh, no, wait. Maybe I was on screen share. I think I was on screen share. Anyway, in case I wasn't on screen share, this is the balcony we're sitting on doing this podcast. It's right here. Super cool. Starlink, internet works great. And yeah, here it is. And hopefully there'll be more of them floating around. All right, let me look at your other questions. See what else we got. Should be more resort oriented. Well, hopefully resorts will buy these things, right? But at 1.5 million a pop, or 2 to 3 million for the super duped out version. Let's see. I'm sure resorts in the Maldives may be interested. I will be talking to the Prospera team over in Honduras. You guys saw my last interview was with them. Would be awesome. I'd live in one of these off the coast of Rotan Island. That would be awesome. Where is it based? Just covered that. Is the sea outside jurisdiction? So let's talk about jurisdiction. This is a very complicated topic. I've had this discussion with several people. A lot of people think that if you're out in the middle of the ocean, you are living jurisdiction free. And a lot of people think that that view is insane because even if either you are within the border of a nation, which is like what, 200 miles of shore? What's the, I don't
Yeah,
know the,
there's different grades, so it's like 12 nautical miles and 200.
right. So either you're within a jurisdiction of a country, and if you are in open ocean, you need to be in the open ocean under a flag of a country. Otherwise, you are considered a pirate. And that brings on other jurisdictional issues. And if you are out in the middle of the ocean under a flag of a country, technically you are under their jurisdiction, even if you are across the world. I know very little about this. You might be the expert. Explain sea jurisdictions. It's a
Um,
great topic. Thanks for reminding me.
yeah, so there's a whole community of people that want to have these in the ocean so they can be more regulated on their own. That's called seasteading. People love that concept. There's a lot of people that love that.
But is that a legal, internationally recognized concept, or is that something libertarians made up?
When you're in international waters, you really do benefit by having a flag because then it's like if someone comes onto your property, then they're actually invading. It's like invading a country because you're under the Panama flag or the U.S. flag or whatever flag you have your vessel under. So that gives you some protection. So there is benefits to doing that. Um, the libertarians that want to be outside of every jurisdiction, that's um, that's a little bit tricky. That's like that's like our story in Thailand. We
Right.
the government over there claimed that we're inside of their jurisdiction, and they said that we're creating our own country outside of or in Thai waters. So that became a whole big issue. Um, we weren't creating a country outside of their country, but that became a big controversial issue and led to my partners being on the run for 10 days, uh, at sea, which was quite a dramatic event. And the whole book's being written about that. That's going to be hopefully released later this year. There's a movie being made about that, so it's going to be pretty interesting when that comes out. But usually, when I go back to all the seasteading enthusiasts and say, okay, well, the technology's ready now, you can actually have this. There, they seem to be a lot of armchair people that like seasteading. They like to comment online and talk about it online, but there's not a lot of people that actually want to get out there and do it. Because in reality, it's not so easy to live in the middle of the ocean. Like what happens, like when we built the first prototype in Thailand, there's a time where we dropped a wrench in the ocean by mistake. So it's a 3 hour ride to get to the closest hardware store. It's not so easy. So you need to have a whole support structure. You need to have a whole system, and it's not easy to just live that hard. You need to be a real serious pioneer to live like that. So that's why we put a lot of focus on the technology to be able to make it so they're self-sustaining. So we don't need to rely on anyone else for our power. We don't need to rely on anyone else for our water. We do have some ideas on how to do the food systems as well, so we can grow a lot of our own fresh produce. Not everything, it becomes a little bit complicated to do that. And then, of course, there's fresh fish as much as you want. So we want to have it so it's completely autonomous, so you don't have to rely on anyone else for anything.
Right.
Yeah.
So people are asking about like the safety part of living like this. Well, your safety depends on which country, off of which country's coast you're living on. I mean, yes, this thing could be out in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. I don't think I would recommend it. Living on one of these in the middle of Pacific Ocean, a giant storm could come out of nowhere. Technically, so explain a little more the construction. This is not connected to the bottom of the ocean. So technically, you can have this in the middle of the Pacific Ocean.
Mhm.
But you are so far away from any other coast
Hmm.
that it's probably not recommended, right? So somewhere between someone can swim to my pod from shore,
Hmm.
and I'm in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, right? Where's the happy medium here for safety, convenience?
Hmm.
Like, what is like if there was one most optimal place you can live like this for a long time, where would it be? We're in Panama, but is it Panama?
I think anywhere within a couple of kilometers from land is ideal because then you can still get back and forth very easily with a jet ski, with a boat, with a paddleboard, kayak, and that's ideal. But in a couple of years, I think that's going to change a lot when once we have passenger drones because you'll be able to get like an air taxi.
Oh, you can jump into your drone on the rooftop and you can fly away if
Yeah.
shit's hitting the fan.
Yeah, you could. Yeah. Well, I would think more that you're flying away from land because shit's hitting the fan on
Oh,
land.
you're going from land to your
Yeah,
SeaPod
getting
two
to
miles
safety.
out. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gotcha. All right. Yeah, I think there's more to this question. Can something like this be relocated?
It can be because this is a lot of people look at this and they think that it has to be like the steel spar must be going into the sea floor because it doesn't look like it's moving. It doesn't look like it's possible to have a house dangling from the sea, like over the sea. But the all the floating structure is underneath. By on this model, it's like within it only goes about 3 meters deep, and that's everything. So we can actually take we have some anchors. There's three anchors that hold it in place so it doesn't float away. We can pull up those anchors and then move this anywhere else
So
we want to go.
you have like a big boat that could tug this thing
Hmm.
to another location.
Yeah.
So if you were living in this in the Caribbean, you can probably just hire a boat to tow it to another part of the Caribbean. You will need to, have the jurisdiction of where you're going, know that a house is about to show up and park off your coast. But if you have all that arranged, oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, actually, we're regulated as a boat.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So
So
you could just park this thing in somebody's marina, and the guy at the marina goes, "What is this?"
we were parked at the marina for a year. So yeah.
You like show up at like a marina in Honduras or a marina in Nicaragua, and the guys at the marina are like, "Why is there? What? How do we wake up this morning and there's a house parked in our marina?"
Yeah, you know, we can do that. We've done crazier things in ocean buildings. We've done some
Oh,
crazy
that's
things.
great. That's great.
I mean, why not? Before the next bad weather storm system comes in, which would be usually starts around end of November. We're going to move this either into the bay here, so we will be moving it, or
Oh, really? You're gonna
out
move
there.
this?
Yeah, we'll move it because it's not nice. We still want to have
Bad
visitors.
time of the year, you mean, or a specific storm, or you mean or seasonally, you don't want it here during certain months?
Yeah, there's the trade winds come through every year at a certain
Can you
time.
explain what trade winds are? As a geologist, I really should know this, but
Yeah,
I might have skipped that
I'm
class.
not good at explaining that. I guess the with the season changes or something, or
Okay, that's
I
fine.
don't have good explanation.
Um, so certain times of the year, too dangerous to have it here.
It's not too dangerous, but it's not, well, it's dangerous getting on and off because
Okay.
if we're moving up and down with 2.5 meter waves and then you come with a boat and you try to connect from the boat to the pod, it's a tricky.
Waves are high.
Yeah.
I mean, that's high.
Hmm.
Uh,
Well, we have a tugboat or a pusher boat that pushes it into the position. So you have one pushing around the center, and then you have another one that guides it from the front, so you can steer it. Yeah. Yeah, we did that in January, and it took about 3 hours to get it from the marina to here, which is only a kilometer and a half. But it's a tricky kilometer and a half because there's boats. They're all over the area. So we had to move the boats individually. and that's what took most of the time. Half of the journey was didn't have any boats, and that took like no time, like 20 minutes to do that part.
You have any other question, Pat? People are asking who's asking questions, so if you wanted to come on and
Oh,
ask
okay.
in person on a mic. Okay, I got a long question. Let me see here. Thoughts on using the Rankine cycle, I don't know what that means, with ammonia to spin a turbine for power. Maybe a different name, but same concept. Nate Harmon from Hawaii uses for power and Bitcoin mining ideas. Maybe I should copy that and DM it to you to investigate.
Yeah, I can look in.
I have no idea what that means.
So um, we do have one of our engineers who's working on a system using a Tesla turbine. Instead of using solar panels, the idea would be that we would have solar thermal evacuated tubes, which are highly efficient at collecting the sun's rays and turning it into collecting the heat, and then turns that into it heats either water or you can heat an oil, and then you can actually store it into various. There's various ways of storing it. And then when you want to use it, then you have it connected to a Tesla turbine, which is highly efficient, and then that turns the heat into motion, and then you can generate power from that. And that theoretically we should be able to get up to about 60% efficiency, but it has to be built, and that's a big research project. So that hasn't been done yet. But I love the idea. I love anything that makes things better, and I'm always interested in trying new things.
All right, super cool. Um, all right, I think we're done with questions, and it's we've been on for about an hour. How about electricity and water when there is no sun? Well, the solar charges a generator, which is good enough for a day, 1 to 3 days of power.
The batteries will last about 3 days if we have almost no sun. Like, well, no sun, you can have total cloud cover, but we can get a little bit of a charge on a cloud cover day. But
There's just two things, right? So there is a solar power generator, and that is good for about 3 days.
yeah,
And then if that runs out, you have another backup generator to that generator that is gas powered.
yeah, that's gas or propane.
Oh yeah, but yeah, like
That's a dual fuel.
commercial, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So if the world loses electricity and you're living on one of these, you'll probably be surviving.
Yeah, actually, around this area, we have really bad electricity. Like the power's always going down, the water's always going down, the internet's always going down, and I don't know any of it anymore. I used to when we were building this, I used to have that problem, but now I don't have any problems because I don't know when the power's out on land because I have lots of power, I have lots of water, and internet's great. Lost internet. There's a really, really big rainstorm this morning, and I lost internet for about 10 minutes.
Yeah, there was a massive storm when we were driving up here. It was like, holy shit, of all the days to pick to come here, and it's raining right now, even. We just did not luck out on a beautiful day. Also, because of the storm, the water is not as clear as it would be. I would have loved to go on snorkeling maybe tomorrow. I'll still be here tomorrow. Hey, let's do a little walk through the house
Yeah,
one more time. So let's see here, guys. I'm gonna grab the laptop.
I'll check this out.
No, that's the camera, so we need that. Actually, no, let's do this. I'm gonna switch cameras
Okay.
to the laptop camera. There we go. And now I can unplug that camera, and now all we have to do is walk through the house. We got our audio. Yeah, this becomes a lot easier.
All right.
So let's walk through the house. In case anybody was wondering. Hey, Pats. Hi. There she is. And yeah, so behind me right here, that's the kitchen. Let me walk through. You know what? I'm just gonna put the laptop right in front of me so you guys can see what I see. Um, Here is the workstation. Do it like that. There's the workstation, there's the kitchen. This was the view out the window. This is where we were sitting. There's the camera. Here is the boat in the harbor. There's the solar panels, but the new version of this pod has the solar panels around the rooftop. And that's the other type of pod that's being built. You can check it out on the website. This camera, I can't really zoom in. Yeah, Grant, so what is that? I thought this was a Bitcoin miner, but it's not.
We call it our liquid computer because we wanted to have something really unique that was on the pod that was like the Back to the Future flex capacitor kind of thing. So this is our liquid computer that runs the whole house, that runs all the home automation, the smart home system. And it's basically the computer immersed in
Runs this house.
Yeah.
And eventually everything's gonna be like voice activated and stuff.
Yeah, we're working on some really cool integrations with AI technology.
Nice.
So there's another one out there. I don't know if your camera would be able to zoom in.
Yeah, there's one more out there. I think I did a
I can
zoom.
zoom in.
Oh, I don't know if this will work. Camera off a camera. He's zooming in on his phone. There's another one out there, but we're gonna try to go out there tomorrow. So I'll try to do. There it is. That's the newer. Oh, I see the solar panels on the rooftop. Yeah, there's one more out there, and that's the more advanced one. I can't wait to go and see it.
Okay.
All right, let's check out the bedroom. This is that super fancy automated bed.
Yeah. Left and right zones. You can have vibration alarm as well, so it'll vibrate to wake you up.
Whoa. He's got a shower. He's got a toilet behind the mirrored door, like the Japanese, like high-end
by itself.
The shower right there. It's a big shower.
Big shower.
Very big shower. That's not an efficient. That's not an efficient use of space. And
No, it's not.
SeaPod.
No, but you know, shower. We wanted to have a really good bathroom experience because most boats don't have a good bathroom experience,
Oh, yeah.
and it's kind of important.
Also important for getting a girl to stay here with you.
Yeah, well, you know, the wives are the ones that usually make buying decisions, right?
And let's go to the roof.
Okay.
Lead the way.
All right. It is raining, so
It's going to be slippery. Yeah, so see how waterproof the computer is. Oh yeah, it is literally raining.
yeah,
All right, we are on the roof.
the views are
Here it is. You got a
amazing.
Panamanian flag right there.
Yeah.
All right. Oh wait, what happened? Why did I? There we go. All right, I'm on the roof. I hope I'm still streaming. Yep, so we are on the rooftop. So from the rooftop, yeah, there's the other pod. Oh yeah, this is cool.
Yeah.
There's
One of
dinner
my
out
favorite
here,
spaces.
put a table out here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Really, really, really cool. You ever go diving off? You ever jumped off of here?
No, there's only 3 spots where you could theoretically jump.
But if this was further out, like off
Well,
of the other one, you could, right?
it's
No?
not that. It's actually because we have the walkways that go out, so you
Okay.
don't want to jump onto them.
Ah,
And then there's
right.
also actually connecting wires under the water, and you
Ah.
don't want to jump onto them from this height. So there's only 3 spots, 3 exact spots where you can jump off, and then you have to jump past the wire that's submerged.
Ah.
So the next one we're going to do the submerged wire differently, so that's not.
Or you can put like a little diving pad off of one.
Yeah, but this height is 9. We're like 9.5, 10 meters.
Yeah, no,
So
I've done jumps higher than this. It's always a bad idea, but
yeah, yeah. I don't want the liability.
yeah. All right, guys, and there's the other one. Yeah, super cool. Uh, yeah, no, this is great. All right, it's raining. I have a laptop. We're going back inside.
Yeah. Go ahead.
All right. Yeah, I guess I'll go first.
Want me to hold the computer?
No, it's okay. I got it. Let's see how long my legs are. There we go. All right, cool. All right. Down. Okay. All right. Let me turn this down. All right, guys, I'm gonna go to your live chat one more time. Cool. Where does the water in the shower come from? Rainwater.
Rainwater. We're collecting water right now for the shower.
People want me to do a roof workout. You do push-ups out there?
I do some there, but I usually use these. I
Yeah, he
use my
uses these things right
TRX.
behind me right there, TRX. I've used those before in my gyms. It needs a slide.
I do have a design for a slide from the SeaPod. Yeah, we haven't done that yet.
Oh, good question. Um, the answer is probably gonna be no. Is the unit sealed in case of a tip over?
Well, the unit is designed to float.
Yeah, the unit is designed to float, so it shouldn't tip over, even though the prototype 2 years ago did. But all those problems, this is why you have 2 years or 4 years of development.
Yeah, well, it's actually total, it's about 6 or 7 years of development from the very beginning to now. But this design is based on an oil rig. So really the technology is oil rig technology.
All right, guys. Yeah, so this is the same concept as an oil rig, so it's just designed to float. All right, guys. On this note, I'm gonna do one last screen share just to show the information. All the links are in the video description. The Ocean Builders Twitter, go ahead and follow them. Ocean Builders Instagram, go ahead and follow them. All the links are in the video description. Grant himself on LinkedIn, and their website of all the types of SeaPods. And one day you're also looking to build them, green pods over in the forest. They look really, really cool.
Yeah.
Green pod right there. There is a separate link for that. There they are. I like the other one. I like the other pictures he had. These right there, like sticking out above the trees. Super eco-friendly. As you guys know, I hate the ESG forced narrative, but I'm also a big fan of the environment. Building something like this, you literally have to cut down 0 trees to live in the rainforest. And that's when people realize how challenging it is to live in the rainforest. Everyone wants to do it until they realize what that actually entails. So green pods are super, super cool. And yeah, just go ahead and explore the website. You guys have never actually done any public raises, and you haven't yet. And if they do, I'll definitely let you guys know. Again, as you guys know, I'm super picky investing in projects, but this is super cool. If they ever have a public raise, I'll let you know because I may get in on that. All right.
All right. Thank you. Thank you very much, guys.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for watching. Definitely check out the video. That's also in the video description right there. And we're literally in here right now. This was shot 5 months ago, and it was already in place. This is where I am right now in this spot. All right, guys. Thank you all for watching, and see you all on the next one. Say bye.